Hello, I'm Alistair Grant, the political editor of the Scotsman.
I'm Alison Campsie, reporter with the Scotsman.
And we've been here at Trump International in Aberdeenshire for the grand opening of Donald Trump's new golf course here. Alison, what did you make of that opening ceremony? It was quite a surreal day, I think it's fair to say. What did you make of what happened and seeing Donald Trump tee off?
Yeah, I think surreal is probably a good word to describe it. I mean, I've been here several times before, and I think there's always that feeling when you're coming up the drive, you never really know what to expect. And I think that was definitely true today. We knew that we were heading to a grandstand. We knew that there was going to be an official ribbon cutting. But to see sort of Donald Trump kind of walking up that stadium with the pipe band following him, that was a sight to behold. He kind of walked up behind the grandstand. In the back, you could see the wind turbines, or the windmills, as he always calls them. I wish he would stop doing that. But he walked up past the wind turbines in front of the assembled crowd, which was a mix of press and his VIP guests for the day, some of which played a four-ball with him as he sort of christened the course, if you like. It's quite a personal thing, I felt.
Yeah.
A family thing, a family affair, I suppose, by its nature. His sons were there, Eric and Don Jr. and their families. And I mean, they've very much kind of spoke of this course being the kind of heart and soul of the Trump family, and how it's been such a long time in the making, and the effort that's gone into it. I'm sure it was described as the kind of Mona Lisa of golf course. And all the time you have these very kind of like emotive speeches from the family. Eric Trump was saying, he loved his dad, and, he's so proud of his dad. He's having a hell of a time kind of sorting out the world and sorting out America. But still, he was here in Aberdeenshire to sort of christen this course. So, and all the time, as we were waiting for him, there was like quite a bizarre soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it was the songs that played at his rallies. I think it was a number
like,
of hits blasting over the speaker.
Absolutely. It was like it was like a sort of rally, wasn't it? Sort of great American, all American hits, I particularly like Michael Jackson's Thriller when that came in.
Yeah.
That was quite good.
And I was quite struck by, he was talking a lot about his love for Scotland. And at one point, he asked the First Minister, John Swinney, to stand up and called him a terrific guy, a special guy.
Yeah.
Talked about how he loved golf, he loved the people.
Yeah, that's right.
He kind of seems to have formed on the face of it, quite unlikely relationship with John Swinney there.
Well, sure, but as we were speaking earlier, they dined last night. They had langoustine beef and 3 desserts, I believe, and we're sitting...
A trio of desserts.
A trio of desserts, and we're sitting next to each other at dinner, is that right?
Yeah, so I think it was Swinney on one side of Donald Trump and Prime Minister Keir Starmer on the other side. And we're told that they had, dinner lasted a couple of hours. I think they had quite detailed conversations.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an awkward dinner by any sort of sense of the imagination, I think. And Donald Trump described John Swinney as a terrific guy. So that seemed kind of like maybe an unlikely pairing, because John Swinney, we know, is quite reserved. Donald Trump is not, but they seem to get on fine.
Yeah, and I think the important thing from John Swinney's point of view is that he managed to raise things like whiskey tariffs. And there seems to be a little bit of optimism behind the scenes that this is something that wasn't on Donald Trump's radar before he came on this trip. He said that during the press conference in Turnberry, that it wasn't something that he was aware of as being a problem. And I think now he knows it's a problem. That kind of window of opportunity has opened for talks to maybe make some progress here, because ultimately the Scottish government does not want to see tariffs on whiskey. And it's an industry that's worth so much money to Scotland. I think it is our biggest export. So I think from their point of view, they'll come away quite positive there.
Yeah, great. And what about oil and gas as well? Is that something that's come up?
Well, it's something that Donald Trump has raised. I think we knew his opinions on oil and gas, on North Sea oil, but he took to his social media channel, Truth Social, this morning, shortly before the kind of opening ceremony, actually, and was talking about how the North Sea is a treasure chest, there's vast wealth in it, but the taxation system isn't helping, and he's saying they've got to incentivise the drillers. So it'll be seen as quite a criticism of Keir Starmer's tax regime, that kind of windfall tax.
Windfall tax, yeah.
So that will obviously be a big issue. And the other thing that both Starmer and Swinney raised was, of course, Gaza and this kind of international situation. So although it is a private trip, there's been a lot of business as well. And I think that's quite unusual, really.
Yeah, it's been a strange mix of elements this trip, I think. And you've had this sort of very family-orientated event here today, which really is ultimately like a massive kind of bit of publicity for this golf course. The kind of world's media is here on the back of the political chat, but they're here as well to see this golf course opening up. So quite a strange mix of elements, I would say, in this trip. And so, in your assessment, Alistair, like, how do you think Donald Trump has done on this trip? There's been so many topics and really important issues covered. How would you rate him?
Well, I mean, I think he's obviously, there was so much publicity around this. It was, I think there was probably a bit of nervousness from officials, both in the UK government and the Scottish government, about how it might go.
Yeah.
And I think from their point of view, from Keir Starmer's point of view, from John Swinney's point of view, they'll feel pretty positive about this. They've managed to raise issues that are important to them. The press conference yesterday with Keir Starmer went on for more than an hour. It was such a long press conference. But, you know, a wide variety of topics covered. I think Keir Starmer will be quite happy with it. I think John Swinney will be quite happy with the reception that he's got. So,
well, that's good. I mean, they've both managed to get across these important points for Gaza, for example, which they were desperate to get their view across to Trump about this, and they've had the platform to do that, and they've spoken publicly about that.
Yeah, and he's very much seen as pretty much the only person who can really have influence of Israel there. But there'll be lots of articles on the Scotsman's website about this. I know you're doing a colour piece from today. I'm currently writing an analysis. We've got news coverage online. I mean, just to give people a bit of an insight into this as well, we both went through kind of airport-style security this morning, had to meet in a car park in Bridge of Dawn at 6 a.m. It's been a very surreal day, but for all the latest, stay tuned to the Scotsman's website, and thank you very much for watching.